Okay, so like I said, that's the definition of a prophet. Someone who prophesies and it comes to pass. Will they have more problems? All I challenge you to do, the same Bible you call yourself interpreting out here in America, go check what the Bible say about, go check in Google prophets that sinned against God, and you're gonna get clarity. You're gonna understand this. You should, if you're human. People with good understanding, wouldn't matter what label you are or what you are, as long as you're human, you are imperfect. Right? End of story. But you got it in cartoon land in America, don't you? You got the prophet in cartoon land. I'm not in cartoon land in reality, buddy. You ain't gonna ever be able to put me in cartoon land. Okay? Now you look like an idiot. Talking about false prophets, and a false prophet is someone who prophesies and nothing happens. Nothing at all. That's a false prophet. If you think about it, it makes common sense. A false prophet is gonna falsely prophesy. A false prophet will prophesy falsely. It's self-explanatory. What does a prophet do? Prophesy, right? So if you're a false prophet, what will you do? You will falsely prophesy and nothing will happen at all. That's it. That's what it is. Once you see credible things that nobody can make up, whether you like it or not, whether you like the condition of that person or not, you can't say that's a false prophet. Okay, so just getting that out the way, just getting that very good and clear out here, right? Okay, boom. So now you know the difference. Now you know the real definitions of a prophet. Someone who prophesies and it comes to pass. A false prophet is someone who prophesies and nothing happens. End of story. You're going to have an imperfect person that you're dealing with regardless. And they're going to be, like I said, they're going to deal with higher levels of spiritual warfare. So a spiritually mature person is going to expect a prophet to go through hell. No pun intended. Okay, so there you have it. Now, that's what made me credible to say I'm a prophet. So you can understand, I'm not just going around saying this for no reason. I'm not saying this just to be cool or appear to be high ranking. This is based on credible prophecies, right? Okay. Next, keep that in mind when you listening to me, right? Keep it in mind. A civil war in America or civil unrest, continuous civil unrest, all that needs to happen is certain catalysts that are triggered in this country. The main two that I see right now is either Trump get assassinated or this migration situation. That's the main things on the table right there. Remember, man, when you playing with me, the Bible says, touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm. You don't got to love me. As a matter of fact, the more generations come by, America hates Christians. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You already despise Christians before you even knew who I was, right? I already know that. I'm smart enough to know that. But remember, when you playing with me, there are repercussions. And I don't have no problem with telling you that. I don't have no problem with telling you that because the Bible tells you that. Touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm. What does that mean then? Obviously, if you do something, then there's something that's going to happen to you. You can see it all through the Bible. You can't play with God's people. Whether you hate us or not, I don't care how you feel. You can't play with me and get away with it. And that's all I'm saying to you. You play with me, you ain't going to get away with it. See, now you see the full man realized. The prophet. I'm nothing to play with, buddy. I'm not your plaything. I'm not your play toy. And I know you know that as Americans. Oh, you know that. You know that. That's why you playing with my phone. I ain't got no data. All of a sudden, the storage on your phone is messed up. When I know I got enough, I know I got enough time to be on this phone. When I'm supposed to have a whole hour on this phone. You think I'm stupid. This ain't the first time you done this with my phones. You think I'm stupid. Just every little thing you do, we watching it. And we gonna give repercussions. You can hate me, but guess what, buddy? Really, you hate yourself. Because you caused all these problems. How you go? So it's misdirected hate. It's misdirected anger. You should be directing it towards yourself. Well, I didn't cause these problems. You did. So you're too stupid to be angry at yourself. you're too stupid to be angry at yourself, ain't you? You angry at me? Well, hey, listen. Then you caused these problems. You did, didn't you? Okay, so why you angry at me? Make it make sense, bro. Make it make sense. Listen, civil unrest, and civil war is on the horizon. You got two situations. The main one, I would say, is that migration situation. Ain't nobody gonna trust Democrats in there, because they the ones that let it spiral out of control. If it wasn't for the Democrats, it wouldn't be, I'd say what, 10 to 25% what it is. Biden let all these people come in, right? And just with no resistance. They were getting shipped in from Texas to New York. I was up there when it was happening. New York is culture shock to somebody who haven't been here. How they gonna let people come to New York City with the cost of living and all of that? It was all for publicity reasons, for it to get attention, for it to get national attention. Why would the governor of Texas send migrants to New York City, one of the toughest cities to survive in? Think about that. That's the first thing should raise a red flag to you. Why would a discretional governor of Texas send illegal migrants, people that's fresh, no pun intended, or no disrespect, fresh off the boat? Why would you send them to New York City when I can show you Americans that can't even hang with New York, let alone an illegal migrant? Because it was for publicity reasons. They wasn't meant to make it. It was all for it to get national attention, because the governor of Texas is a MAGA supporter, and that would get people to focus on putting Trump in office to handle the migrant situation. They made a perfect storm. They created that storm because we wasn't even thinking about putting Trump back in office. People was just glad he was gone from the first term. What made people start focusing back on Trump? They created a perfect storm. This migrant situation, they knew Biden was incompetent to fix it. They knew Trump had the backbone to fix it or do something about it. Biden wasn't even using ICE. He wasn't even using ICE. He wasn't even using it. You ain't even know what ICE was until Trump got in office. That's why everybody, if you go back and look at the news clips and you go back and look at the culture, nobody was even thinking about putting Trump back in office. The only issue that made people put Trump back in office was the migration issue, and they created that issue on purpose. Other than that, how could Trump get back in office? We couldn't stand Trump. But the migrant situation was so bad, it started affecting the black neighborhoods, New York and everything. And that would make perfect sense why they sent them to New York, so it would get public attention. If you send them to Oklahoma, everybody ain't gonna be, it might not get public attention. You send them to New York City, everybody gonna be talking about that. All those buses coming in, it almost broke New York down. Go look at the mayor at that time. Go look at him talking about how New York is gonna be broken from the migrant situation. They were sending in buses every day, white buses full of migrants. Where was they going? I don't know. But the Biden administration did virtually nothing. All them buses was coming in, I count around April 2021. From April 2021 to the point where Trump was in office, which is 2025, about 4 years, it was a steady flow of migrants coming in. That's why it's too far gone. That's every day in New York. They was coming up there by the boatloads every single day. You telling me Trump got all them people? Nope, he can't get them all. You got to accept that there's another layer of people in this community that we don't even know. You see how bad it is? See, that's what's going to probably cause civil unrest or civil war in this country. And you can sit up here and think that, like, listen, man, for you Americans that are comfortable, I suggest you wake up and open your eyes. If you've been comfortable for quite some time, even teenagers, even children, if you've been comfortable, hey, time is the time to wake up now, buddy. This country, listen, it is not the same country no more. It's not. It's people here that you don't even know they here. That's an energy. Seek people in secret all around you. That's an energy in itself. Listen, let me tell you something. You ain't gonna be able to get all those people out. and they're gonna cause a lot of problems. And those problems may lead to curfews and martial law. The Hispanic and Latino illegal problem is most likely gonna cause martial law or curfews. Just wait for it. Just wait for it. Just wait for it. Just wait for it. It's just a matter of time. You know, it's just a matter of time, man. You know, because ain't no way in the world they got all those people that was coming in when I was up there in New York. They didn't get all them people. No, they ain't get them all. They laying low in Hispanic or Latino neighborhoods. This is the most betraying times of Hispanic or Latino American community because they the ones helping them. Where you think they at? Where you think these illegal migrants at? They're in Mexican neighborhoods and Latino neighborhoods. They ain't in black neighborhoods, they ain't in white. So where they at? Where all them people went to? This is the most betraying time, and they don't care because Trump is in office, and Hispanic and Latinos, a lot of them don't like Trump. So they don't care about betraying America because Trump is in office. Who you think hiding the migrants? Hispanic and Latinos hiding the migrants. Hey, but it ain't black people or white people. This is their most betraying time when people are trying to get rid of these migrants and people are dying here in America. They dying because of migrants. It's crime and everything, and the Hispanic and Latinos are helping them, and that's facts. That's facts. So just prepare, man. Just prepare for a civil war, civil unrest. I can't tell you when it's gonna happen, but I can tell you that there are catalysts on the table for it happening, which is either Trump getting assassinated or this migrant situation boiling out of control. Okay? That's what we're looking at. That's what we're looking at. And most likely, it's going to be that migrant situation that leads to civil unrest. Because once they get offended as a whole community, that's when the clash is going to happen between them and the community, them and the government, the authorities and everything. See, we went through it as black people. Now they about to go through it. You see where we at, right? Most likely, they are about to go through a clash with the police, a clash with the government, a clash with the community of America. That means militias and racist people too. They got to deal with all of that like we dealt with it. Hispanic and Latinos are most likely are going to deal with what we had to deal with over the years as black people, dealing with the government, the police, the authorities, and all of that stuff. Just as one race of people, we had to deal with it more than anybody else, and they're going to have to deal with it more than anybody else, just like we did. Yep. Because you can see it. Because these racist white people, man, listen, if you think they gonna sweep under the rug people like Lakeland Riley and she got killed, right? You think they done forgot about that? No. Once you kill a white woman in America, they ain't gonna never forget about that. Which means them racist white people is looking at Hispanic and Latinos more than ever before. To them, you might have been a perfect slave, but now they hate you. I'm gonna tell you, I'm just keeping it real with you. Because y'all came here and worked, they may have looked at you before this stuff started happening, looking at you like y'all slaves for them. But now that this stuff happened with Lakeland Riley and all these people getting killed, now you have become an enemy just like we was. From slavery to enemies, just like we did as black people. That's the 7 hour. We went from slavery to being enemies of America. You going through the same thing. Pay attention. You going through the same exact thing. You first was working for America and everything. It was all good, basically. I mean, well, it wasn't all good, but it was better. It was better than what we went through. You was working for them, and now you about to be their enemy. But in your situation, it's because you don't have nobody standing up and telling the truth and telling these illegal migrants to do it the right way, to come into this country the right way before you destroy our credibility as Hispanic and Latino Americans. Y'all need somebody to stand up and say, look, man, we believe in coming to this country the right way so that you do not destroy the credibility of Hispanic and Latinos that we worked for all these years. All of that credibility is going down the drain like Drano. It's going down the drain like Drano, man. With no resistance. Your credibility going down the drain like Drano with no resistance. I would have had somebody stand up and say, yo, we believe in coming to this country, but you got to do it the right way or you're going to destroy the credibility that we got. And that's what's happening. If you don't think it can be done, you think you've done so much for America, man, listen, man. All it takes is enough of these racist white people and these white Americans to change the whole atmosphere, and they already doing it. It becomes a house of cards when you offend these people. When you start killing these people, your credibility becomes a house of cards, buddy. They could just blow on it, man. They're going to just blow on it. It's going to be gone. You're going to be so surprised as Hispanic and Latinos. Listen, all you work for as far as credibility and the benefit of the doubt, where people give you the benefit of the doubt, all of that's going to be gone, man. Listen, can you imagine what this going to be in 2 more years? This migrant situation. And then after that, too, when Trump ain't in office, can you imagine what's going to happen after that? I'm telling you, man. That's one of the main issues that's going to probably bring civil war on the horizon. Civil war, civil unrest, tomato. Civil war and civil unrest. That's what's coming. And so, I mean, for those who are being gang stalked, just hold on, man. Just hold on, because, see, all of this is a house of cards. Back to a house of cards. This country is becoming a house of cards. A whole house of cards. And ain't no way around it. Ain't no way around it. It's about to all fall apart. If people think they're going to pull together, you can't, because the mentality of the people is too far gone. They mind gone. People crazy. That ain't even gang stalkers. That ain't even where you might think it's me. You might think it's you. You might think it's everybody. Listen, the mentality of the people, you can't take it. You can't change it. That's why people respect men and women of God, because we actually do affect how people think. If you wait for your government to affect how people think, don't hold your breath. If you think these rappers or these entertainers gonna change how people think, where they don't do these crimes and they ain't thugging and gangbanging and selling drugs, ain't nobody gonna change. Who gonna change that? With the culture doing what it's doing and keep feeding people that same mentality, how it's gonna change? So what could you possibly be doing besides the mentality that you think is going to defeat this mentality, that you think is going to be around this mentality? Like I explained, the main thing you want from these politicians is money. That's what you're really thinking about. That's what you're sitting back waiting for. If you got $5,000 to every American citizen, they still wouldn't stop crimes. Crimes would get worse. They would get guns, drugs, and everything else. They'll be re-up with $5,000. They'll re-up with drugs with $5,000. And they will rob other people for $5,000. Money, how you know this country is gone? Because money won't make it better. I beat you to it. How about we give everybody $5,000? Do you realistically think that's going to make the country better? No, it's not. If you gave all American citizens $5,000, you could survive in the right situation. Let's just say they gave you a little more if you was like in New York or LA or whatever. You know what I mean? But it's more than $5,000. You can make that work. Mind you, you still can work too. Let's just say you still can work and still get that $5,000. That's ideal, right? Just a $5,000 check to help the Americans get above water, right? To get above water. I guarantee you it'll be people scheming, stealing money, robbing people, taking that money, and I guarantee you the streets will get worse with more drugs and more guns and everything. So what I'm trying to show you is what you got in the back of your head. Money will be the solution for the American community. No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. This country would get worse with more money given to the community. It will get worse. And then people that's in other neighborhoods, they gonna get drunk. They gonna get high. It's gonna get worse. You gonna have more DUIs, more drugs, more alcohol. It's gonna all get worse, bro. Because the mentality of the people is gone. If you give them type of people money, it's gonna be more drugs. It's gonna be more, everything. Just everything that's going on is gonna be more of it. Drugs, murders, killings, guns, everything. Excessively drinking, everything. More cigarettes, more people smoking, everything, bro. Everything, because they're going to have more money. They ain't going to change their mentality, because if you give them $5,000, you think they're going to say, well, we're going to be peaceful. And that ain't just black people I'm talking about. I'm talking about the whole country. They ain't going to be peaceful with their mentality now if you give them money. So now I'm waking you up to realize, even if we gave the people money, it's not going to be enough. So then there's no solutions. There's no hope. Listen. It's no hope when money is not the answer. The Bible says money answers all things. You can go Google that. The Bible says money answers all things. Go Google that. In Ecclesiastes. That's the right book it's in. It says money answers all things, right? When money is not the answer, it's chaos. I guarantee you, if you gave money, $5,000 to every American citizen, it would not change the moral climate of the community. People would still be killing each other, robbing each other, selling drugs, killing guns. The first thing street people gonna do is get a gun. $5,000 coming, first check, people getting a gun. Been waiting for that kind of money to get a gun. You telling me I'm wrong? First thing a street dude gonna get with $5,000, the first, just in case he don't get it again, he gonna get him a gun. You ain't? Of course you are. And people gonna be selling drugs. People that shouldn't even be selling drugs. You're gonna have more people selling drugs just because they got the money to do it. All that going on. Everything. You add everything else to it. All the things that make people mind be gone. Pills, drugs, fentanyl, all that stuff. So when you look at the mentality, money ain't even the answer. You can't tell me it is. It'll make it so much worse. Everything will be worse. Because greed, even if people ain't criminals, what about greed? All kind of stuff going on. People trying to scam people out of that $5,000 check. You telling me ain't gonna be no hustlers trying to get that check? Of course. Of course it's gonna be hustlers trying to get that check. So I'm trying to show you how far gone your community is. You can't, man, listen, they ain't even an understatement, they ain't even an exaggeration. If you give them money as Americans, it's not gonna be the solution for this whole country. For some people it would be. I could survive off of $5,000. I could be happy and everything. But that's not the collective community. The collective community is going to be, if you gave them $5,000, they're gonna be at each other's necks. They're gonna be stealing from each other, trying to get more money. They $5,000 ain't gonna be enough. They're gonna be trying to get everybody else $5,000. So now you see money, the main thing you think about in the back of your head that these politicians can do for you and your community, it wouldn't even be the solution because they mind too gone. So I'm trying to understand, with that being said, what y'all think y'all gonna do next when money ain't even the solution? No, it's not, man. It's too far gone, man. Don't you see? It's too far gone. It's already going towards civil war, into civil unrest. It's already there. It's already there, man. And the immigration situation is the main thing that looks like it's going to be the catalyst to cause civil unrest and this back and forth between the Hispanic and Latinos and the authorities. Because once they get triggered, once they get the right issue on the table that they all mad about, they going to go in and they ain't going to stop. Look how dense their population is of Hispanic and Latinos. It's so dense, once they go in, it's over. Once they see America as the enemy, it's over. They're gonna be riding around. Can't you see it now? Riding around on pickup trucks, shooting around and everything. Now you see what I'm saying. You telling me that ain't gonna happen? It can happen. All they gotta do is be triggered with the right issue. They people being killed, certain stuff happening to their people, or like it happened to us. See, that's how you know we ain't go through the same thing. We already been through it as black people. Now when they go through it, watch how they respond. They're going to be all out here. They're going to be all out here and everything, man. And then that's when you're going to get civil unrest, maybe martial law, curfews, all that good stuff. You can already see it. And it's going to be off the strength. I'm telling you what's going to do it. It's going to be that illegal migrant situation. They ain't standing up and saying nothing about it. But you want ICE to go easy on them. But you ain't telling your people how to come into the country the right way. You got to do that. You just sitting back criticizing ICE. You gotta stand up and say, hey, you destroying our credibility. We can't let you destroy our credibility. You won't even be able to come here. If our credibility get too destroyed as Hispanic and Latinos, you won't want to be here. I'm telling you, you'll be coming right to a trap. Keep playing with these white folks, you're gonna be coming into a trap. Okay? So see, that's how you know they ain't got no politicians. One thing I challenge you to do is show me a Mexican politician in America on the caliber of like Malcolm X, MLK, Al Sharpton, all these other people. Y'all never had one. Show me a Latino politician worth noting. See, you didn't decide as a community to go into politics, and it was the worst mistake you made, because as the bigger your community became, you needed to have politicians. You gotta have them. That's the lawyers for America. Why you think we like this? This how you know you're American. You stand up, you speak what you gotta say, you break down facts. That's the American way. That's how you fight. You can't be here and just work in a perfect world, yeah, but you can't be here like that. You got to have politicians. And see, that's something your people never understood. See, because you ain't really get with us. If you would have really got with us, how you ain't got no politicians? That part. How you with black people and you ain't got no politicians? And you ain't influenced and inspired to have your own politicians, but you with us. You had some people with us, but you couldn't have been with us collectively. You know how I know? Because you would have had politicians by now. You would have seen our pattern and see the purpose of it, which is to defend your people in times of war and struggle. You gotta have that. Who else gonna defend you? Now you got ICE and all this stuff going on. Who gonna defend you? Who gonna defend Hispanic and Latinos? That's why it's not happening. Who's gonna talk about the illegal migrants coming in and somebody check them and make them listen? See, if you had an influential person, an influential Hispanic or Latino, even they would listen from different countries to you. If you tell them it's okay to come here, this person's powerful like a Mexican Malcolm X, and he stands up in America, he said, we don't mind you coming here, just come here the right way. But you don't got nobody like that. Now you see, you built this country up with your people, but you ain't got no politicians. You should have looked at the black man. You see, why you think we got politicians? Why you think we talk like this for fun? This is how you survive. So eventually, you gonna take matters into your own hands because you ain't got no politician to stand up for you. You gonna go through all this stuff because they mad at you right now. These white folks, these racist white people. It's just, I know that, man. I lived it. I'm 45 years old. You can't kill white women pacifically in America. You can't do it. Latinos done killed a white woman named, a Latino killed a white woman named Lakeland Riley. It didn't sit well with the people, bro. Not even black people didn't like that. So if black people didn't like it, I know these racist white people in white America didn't like it, bro. So it's on the way, bro. Lakeland Riley, they made an act after her. That was a code. That Lakeland Riley act was a code to white America and racist white America. That now they are the enemy. All that worker stuff, that's gone. They enemies. That's why they made the act. I guarantee if it was a black woman, like I said in my other video, or if it was a Chinese woman, they wouldn't have made no Lakeland Riley act. They would have mourned. They would have mourned for the woman, but they wouldn't have made a law. They wouldn't have made acts. No, they wouldn't. They did that for their people. Of course, yeah, and it was a code to their people. And the smart people of their people understand what that code is. They the enemy now. So all I'm telling you, man, that's basically where it's at. Civil war is brewing, and all your credibility, man, is in severe danger as Hispanic and Latinos. Your credibility, that's not even biased. That's based on stuff outside of me. Your credibility is in severe trouble, bro. With all that stuff, see, if you had politicians to stand up, that wouldn't have happened like that. You would have been able to differentiate yourself from those people. But these white folks and these racist people, if you don't got nobody to speak clarity as a Hispanic or Latino and stand up and say we do not condone that, that don't represent the best of our people. If you ain't got nobody doing that and you didn't, what you think people gonna think? They're gonna be left to their own devices. They're gonna be left to their own way of thinking. That's why you have to have that in America. They are your lawyers. Politicians are like the lawyers for ethnicity. Especially if you are in a minority. If you are a minority, politicians and activists and political leaders and national leaders, those are your lawyers. You gotta have that. You can't walk around and then you start getting liabilities and other people, see what I'm saying? Illegal people and people getting killed here and everything like that and all these stuff. Listen. You gotta have that's the worst situation you in right now. You ain't got no politicians in America. It's the worst place to not have no politicians. So you just gotta I don't know what to say. Man. You just gotta trust in God, man. I'm gonna be real with you. I ain't gonna say no cliche stuff. You gotta trust in God. You gotta trust in God, man, but the collective situation is in severe danger, man. You just gotta trust in God because after Trump get out of office, we don't know. You can't even say how all these illegal migrants gonna act because everybody gonna come out once Trump get out of office. Everybody bracing themselves for what Trump is doing, even the international community. We all are not in hiding, but we're waiting them out, including the illegal migrants. So we don't even know how bad it's gonna be looking at things right now. We gotta wait till Trump get out of office to see how even illegal migrants respond to that. They might come out, start doing all kind of crazy stuff. Cause like I said, when I was living in New York City, I see them coming in by the buses. They was coming in by the buses every day. I'm talking about every single day, bro. You can't tell me all those people are accounted for. No, you don't know where they went. They went into Hispanic and Latino neighborhoods. I know that much, and so that's a betraying time for them. You know, they gonna look at it like you stand with us or you stand with your people. But we the ones helping you and feeding you. But you standing with these illegal migrants. It's no secret where else they went. And so when the right Americans figure that out, you see where this is going. They gonna turn their back on you. Because they gonna realize you was out here helping these people, these illegal migrants. Who else helped them? Black people didn't help them. That's why they ready to cut the food stamps, because they know that Hispanic and Latinos are helping them with their food stamps. You think they ain't helping illegal migrants with food stamps? Of course. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Of course. That's why they ready to cut it. They ain't been worried about black people. It's illegal migrants. That's what it is. That's why if you don't know why this whole food stamp situation is going the way it's going, it's more than one reason, but one of the main reasons is because Trump do not want to feed them people. He done said it to a certain extent. He don't want to feed them. And they smart enough to know that Hispanic and Latinos gonna feed them at least with food stamps. At least. And he don't want no trickle down effect where he feeding anybody that's illegal in this country, that's coming from these different countries. They already despise them people, don't you see? From different countries, from Latin America and in Mexico, they already despise them. You could tell Trump do. Read between the lines. Read between the lines, man. So you know, civil unrest is on the horizon as a result, man. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention, man. Don't get too comfortable. Don't ever remember, man, there are always surprises in history. There's always been surprises, things that people ain't expect. And some people done got in sci-fi world. They done trusted in this technology in America. The world, history has always been full of surprises. Big surprises. And we're due for a huge surprise. COVID was one of them. COVID was one of the big surprises. Nobody thought nothing like that would happen. Where school was shut down, everything was shut down. And that ain't the last surprise. History is full of surprises. Remember that, man. Remember that. To God's true people, salute. Over and out.